The protesters chanted anti-war slogans.
So prepare yourself for a truly unnerving viewing experience as we look at creepy reptilians that got caught on camera. During an event, Donald Trump's eye seemed to shift. The lens changed completely as he blinked, almost like it morphed in real time. On another day, his entire face appeared to shift for a brief second before snapping back to normal. The next one is even more shocking. Here, his pupil looked vertical, just like a reptilian's eye. If these clips were real, and he truly had the ability to shapeshift, then could it mean that the ones leading us are not human at all? Reptilian in red. In this unsettling clip recorded at a recent political event, Congresswoman Sherry Biggs, also a lieutenant colonel in the Air National Guard, was caught on camera in a way that immediately freaked people out. If you watch closely, her pupils shift into vertical slits, and they turn yellow in color exactly like a reptile or lizard to be more specific. Everyone else around her looked normal, so it clearly was not a glitch. Even after running it through AI detection softwares, the results all said, this footage is authentic, no AI was found. When she gets close to Trump and smiles, her nose becomes longer, and her chin becomes sharper, like she is becoming more and more reptilian. Her eyes look reptilian, and it's beyond creepy. Tongue flick. A short clip of American politician Maxine Waters recently went viral, but not for anything political. What people kept replaying was a tiny moment during a speech where something about her expression looked strange. As she was talking, viewers noticed the way her tongue moved across her lips, and the motion immediately caught attention. Slowed down, it almost resembled the quick flick of a snake's tongue. It looked like a reptilian trait slipping through for a split second before the disguise corrected itself. Reptilian glitch.
This, then I'll be the Muslim give the answer.
This religious preacher was giving a sermon when something totally bizarre happened to him. Just a few minutes into the video, his head changed forms, causing him to look distorted and otherworldly. His face was replaced by something reptilian that was green in color and a lizard face. It happened again. This time, the reptilian face was more visible. Viewers were shocked to see it. Similar glitches do not happen twice in a row.
We'll ask you if you delivered the message.
Live reptilian eye. During a live segment on the Australian morning show Sunrise, Miriam Haley was speaking about a serious topic when something odd appeared to happen with her eye. In the middle of a sentence, her right eye seemed to shift in a way that didn't look like a normal blink. The eyelid moved sideways for a moment, almost like the eye briefly changed shape before returning to normal. It happened quickly, but slowing the footage down makes the moment easier to see. Why is it almost always the eyes? And why does this keep happening during live TV? Live transformation.
The protesters chanted anti-war slogans.
On the 3rd of November, 2010, a Fox News 9 anchor's broadcast took a bizarre turn. Mid-presentation, her skin seemed to shift, twisting into strange patterns, as if moving on its own. Viewers assumed it was a camera glitch, but the footage suggested otherwise. Within seconds, the broadcast cut away, leaving the audience puzzled. Years later, the clip resurfaced and became central to the wild reptilian theories online. Proof for some, unexplainable footage for everyone else.
They urged each other to stay together, not to splinter off, and they did that for the most part.
Reptilian shapeshift. This grainy and strange video was recorded on a phone by a border security personnel who was very suspicious of what he saw on 29th March, 2013. A normal-looking man that was talking to the border security and looked frustrated. It made sense, because he wanted to escape Newfoundland, Canada, but they weren't letting him. And that's when his sea-andament eyes glitched. His human mask was coming off, and he almost lost all control, which is why he covered his face immediately afterwards to try and cover his eyes up, but it was all caught on camera. French shapeshifter? This footage of Emmanuel Macron left people stunned. His teeth looked completely different from how they usually appeared. Look at this clip. Do you notice how sharp they look? It almost seemed like they had changed their shape right in front of the camera. Here they looked far from his usual teeth, which looked like this. The difference was too strange to ignore. And when compared side by side, it looked like he was shape-shifting, and his teeth revealed his identity. So was this just a case of digital manipulation, or could it be that these world leaders are shapeshifters hiding in plain sight? Reptilian presenter? During a live program in 2016, something truly strange happened. A presenter seemed to shapeshift right there in front of everyone. Her eyes seemed to change completely. Her irises turned a glowing yellow, and her pupils became narrow slits, just like a reptilian. It only lasted for a brief moment, but it was hard to miss. And did you see how she turned her face to the side? Right then, it was almost like she felt her mask slipping and tried to hide it. But even with that quick move, the camera still caught everything. Live shift.
Her 16-year-old daughter, the victim in this case, was also arrested here back on September 18th.
In 2008, a Fox News anchor's broadcast took a very strange turn. While Michael Brownlee was reporting from Palmdale, California, his skin started to change, slowly forming strange patterns. It seemed like strange scales had appeared mysteriously across his face. What made it even stranger was that he didn't seem to notice any of it, as if he was a reptilian humanoid and his real identity was slipping out right there on live TV.
Now keep in mind, this is the family story, their account of what they see happened here on campus.
Bob Corker Reptile. For years, people have talked about reptilians living among us, trying to blend in with humans. But no matter how much they try to hide, small details always give them away. That's exactly what might have happened to Bob Corker during his speech at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. As he spoke on stage, his eyes changed completely. His pupils turned into narrow slits, just like a reptilian, and stayed that way for a while. When the clip became viral, people started saying that he must be a reptilian in disguise, whose mask had slipped off right on camera.
The people, not the posters, were...
Bill Clinton. In an unnerving clip, the former U.S. president looked hypnotized. His face is expressionless, something like a puppet. He was stuck in a trance, looking eerily pale and lifeless, even more mysteriously. This was off-air during the Bush-Clinton presidential campaign, and he is nothing more than a puppet for the masters that placed him in the White House. They got him.
Mr. Jim Carrey, every fake news is saying you are not Jim Carrey. That's true or not? Please, give answer.
Jim Carrey has always been known for acting strange in interviews, but a recent appearance raised a few more questions than usual. He showed up at the César Awards in Paris to receive an honorary award, and almost immediately people noticed something felt off. His face looked different, his expressions were off, and even his eye color. During one moment, he casually joked that he was dead.
I'm dead.
When he was later asked about these irregularities, he ignored the questions completely, something he never does. As a Jim Carrey fan, he would definitely play into the idea of being cloned, but he would never avoid it. Eye twist. So, there was this news clip that had me staring for a solid minute. During a live broadcast, the anchor is speaking normally, reading the report just like any other day. Nothing about the segment seems unusual at first. Then, suddenly, her eye does something that doesn't look physically possible. For a brief moment, it appears to shift and tilt at an odd angle, almost like it flips out of place before snapping back. The rest of her face stays calm and controlled, while the eye moves in that strange way. Glitch or cloned? Outside a hotel in London, a crowd had gathered to catch a glimpse of Lady Gaga, but when she finally appeared, everyone was shocked. She walked out barefoot, but her movements were more strange. Lady Gaga has been known to be eccentric, but this still felt off for man. She didn't appear as if she knew what she was doing. Even her bodyguards didn't know how to react, and can be seen looking at one another in confusion. Conspiracy theorists said she is a puppet like other celebrities, and this was her mind control malfunctioning. What do you think? Pelosi admits reptilian.
You know, of course she was going to say that, but...
Poor baby.
Yeah, she's really, really committed to that. It's really sad.
No, I'm not a poor baby. I'm more reptilian and cold-blooded and go in to win the election.
In a series of recent interviews, Nancy Pelosi shocked viewers by openly saying she is reptilian.
Poor baby, I'm more reptilian.
The craziest part? No one pressed her further on it. A senior politician literally calling herself reptilian is wild enough, but the fact that it went mostly unchallenged made people question if this is a glimpse of a larger truth. Some think it's a hint that more of these beings might come forward in the future, slowly revealing themselves.
We're different from the presidential. We're very discreet, reptilian, cold-blooded. These are the races we have to win.
Trump's reptilian eyes. During a Trump press conference, people noticed something bizarre. One of his eyes briefly looked like it had a vertical slit, like a reptile. It happened so fast many missed it, but then it happened again during a live interview. Just for a second, his eyes narrowed. Then everything went back to normal. Skeptics said it was a trick of the camera, but others argue it's a glimpse of his true form. Whether accidental or intentional, that tiny moment had viewers questioning if some of the most powerful people we see every day might not be entirely human. Shapeshifter? Watch this next video carefully. Did you spot it? As the wave comes in, the kid mysteriously transforms into an adult. I know what you're thinking. Maybe this guy came with a wave, but that's why I said watch carefully. There is no one underneath the wave, and the kid also disappears, which makes it more mysterious. And this isn't the only evidence that I have. Even here, a person transforms into someone entirely different. But lucky for us, these shapeshifters were caught on camera. Non-human.
Well, in Washington, a scary moment for Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell during a press conference. Shortly after addressing the gathered press yesterday, Senator McConnell suddenly stopped talking, apparently to freeze. McConnell didn't move or speak for about 20 seconds.
During a press conference, Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell was addressing the media. Suddenly, in the middle of his speech, he stopped talking. He didn't move or speak for several seconds. Even everyone around him was creeped out by his sudden change in behavior, which is why another senator quickly walked up and escorted him away. What do you think happened here? Do you think this moment revealed a hidden identity? Third eyelid. Here's another video that will make you question the reality of those who hold power. During an interview with Swiss radio and television, the former Chancellor of Germany, Angela Merkel, suddenly looked different. Her eyes got covered by what looked like a cloudy, white membrane. It couldn't have been a camera glitch because the rest of her face looked perfectly normal, only the eyes had changed. 2 Lady Gagas? At one event, people couldn't believe their eyes. 2 Lady Gagas appeared at the same time. One was blonde, the other had black hair, but both were wearing similar clothes. Maybe to help them shift places, which is why some said it was a clone, while a few even suggested something more mysterious controlling her appearances. A secretary society, perhaps? Comment your pick below. That's not Selena. Something strange started circulating online after a cryptic reference to Selena Gomez appeared in the Epstein files. The message was sent about a month before her surgery. She didn't quite behave the same. Fans started pointing out odd details in photos and videos. For example, Selena is listed at 5'5", yet in several clips, she looks taller than Benny Blanco, who is supposed to be 5'9". That doesn't add up. Some viewers began comparing her voice and body language to actress Gina Davis. Side-by-side clips started spreading everywhere. The similarities in tone and expressions are hard to ignore. A lot of people believe the Selena we're seeing today isn't exactly the same person anymore. Reptilian Kirk.
We usually did before tours. We said a prayer.
After Charlie Kirk's passing, attention unexpectedly shifted to his wife, Erica Kirk. An interview surfaced online, and viewers immediately noticed something unsettling. Her eyes didn't look blue anymore. They looked yellow. At first, people blamed lighting, but when the clip was zoomed in and slowed down, the color still looked strange. Then viewers started pointing out other details. Her teeth appeared sharper than before, almost unnatural. Even her behavior caught attention. Instead of looking grief-stricken, she looks joyous, too happy for a recent widow. For a split second, her pupil appeared to narrow like a slit. So what exactly are we looking at here? Live glitch.
Absolutely. Well, we're in a very good position.
In this video, a woman was delivering a live report on television. Nothing unusual about the story she was covering, but viewers quickly stopped paying attention to that. What caught everyone's focus were her eyes. They stayed wide open the entire time, completely unblinking for an uncomfortable amount of time. The longer the clip runs, the more unsettling it feels. Some viewers claimed she wasn't human at all, and said she looked like a clone glitching on camera. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below.
Get a good pulse on what's ramping and areas.
Slit pupils. While a female politician was speaking during an interview, someone slowed the footage down and noticed something unusual. For a brief moment, her pupils didn't stay the same. Instead, they appeared to narrow into thin, vertical slits, similar to reptile eyes. The change only lasted a second before returning to normal, but that was enough for the internet to explode with theories. And by now you know which theories I am talking about. Eyes like reptile. There's a clip from a live Oval Office press conference where Susan Dell is standing quietly behind Donald Trump. She's just part of the group, listening as Trump speaks. But the longer the camera stays on her, the stranger she begins to look. Her posture barely changes, and her face stays almost completely still. What really stands out are her eyes. They look fixed and strangely empty, almost like there's no reaction behind them at all. When older photos from 2018 are placed next to the newer footage, the difference is noticeable. In the earlier images, her expressions look natural and relaxed. In the recent clip, something about her face feels stiff and detached, like a shell. Bieber lizard eyes. This courtroom clip of Justin Bieber has become one of the most talked about moments tied to reptilian theories. The footage itself is simple. Bieber is sitting in court while cameras record the hearing. Then the camera zooms in closer to his face. In that brief close-up, something strange appears to happen with his eyes. For a split second, his pupils don't look round anymore. They narrow into thin vertical lines, almost identical to the eyes of certain reptiles. It happens quickly before returning to normal, but the frame is clear enough that the moment stands out when slowed down. Reptilian soldiers. During a public speech in France, President Macron was addressing the crowd while several soldiers stood behind him as part of the ceremony. One soldier, however, started acting bizarre. His face began shifting through expressions unusually fast. Confusion, surprise, a brief smile, then something closer to shock. The changes happened in rapid sequence. What made the moment stranger was that nothing else stopped. Macron continued speaking normally, and the event carried on as if nothing had happened. News anchor glitches. This anchor was delivering the report the way she normally would. Then something strange happened. Right in the middle of the segment, she suddenly stopped moving. Her face stayed in the same position, her eyes fixed forward, and for several seconds, she didn't blink or speak. The broadcast itself didn't cut away or pause. The camera stayed on her the whole time while she remained completely still, almost like someone had pressed pause. Then, just as suddenly, she moved again and continued the report as if nothing had interrupted it.
I'm sorry.
Reptilian man? Look behind this man carefully, because something really strange is going on. As a football coach gave his interview after the match, the man standing behind him suddenly took all the attention. Look closely to see why. His pupil looked nothing like a normal human's. It was vertical in shape, and his iris seemed unusually light too. So, could it mean that a reptilian was standing right there during the match? Prince's reptilian hand. There was this clip of a Saudi prince going around online, and people immediately noticed something weird. His hand didn't look right, like it was stiff, almost like a prop, sitting in a way that felt totally unnatural. It didn't match his body at all, and it moved wrong. Some people said maybe it was a reptilian disguise slipping for a moment, while others thought it could be some kind of hidden tech or device under the sleeve. Either way, It just didn't feel human. But what do you think was really going on here? Nicki's secret identity.
If they like your music, they're listening to it over and over and over. It's programming.
Nicki Minaj openly said, her music program's listeners, that if people play it enough, it rewires the brain line by line, beat by beat. Some shrugged it off as confidence, but others couldn't stop thinking about what she actually meant. Is it just psychology, or is there something more sinister hidden in the rhythm? She even hinted her songs carry energy that you can't explain. It's the kind of statement that makes you wonder, what's really happening to us while we're listening, and how much are we even aware of? Inhuman leg. After watching this video, you'll start wondering if stars from the music industry are even human. During the Screen Actors Guild Awards in 2022, Selena Gomez tripped, but it wasn't an ordinary misstep. You'll notice that her leg bent at an odd angle. No human leg can bend that way. For a moment, it even appeared to have shapeshifted into something that looked like a tentacle. People also relate this to how she is acting now, especially how different she looks, which we have already shown in this video. Live shapeshifter. Did this camera catch a real shapeshifter? A news reporter was live when something unusual started to happen. If you look closely, you'll see that her neck began expanding and thickening in a very odd way. It looked like she was about to transform right then and there, but the reporter did not react at all, which only made the clip creepier and more suspicious. Reptilian stranger. This video will freak you out. It happened during the American show Antiques Roadshow. While host Mark Lewis Wahlberg was presenting, the man behind him acted in the most unsettling way. He stared straight at the camera without blinking once. That's not even the scariest part, because his eyes looked lizard-like, with a strange sparkle and vertical pupils. All of that is very eerie. So what do you have to say about this? Reptile eyes.
With very fast efficacy achieved.
This video of Dr. Monsef Slaoui, a well-known vaccinologist, was giving an interview when his eyes shifted in a way that didn't seem human at all. It looked like he had translucent third eyelids that reptiles have, which is also called a nictitating membrane. The moment was brief but impossible to ignore. It made viewers wonder if he was one of those reptilian figures said to take up powerful positions and was using vaccines as a clever way to influence and control humans.
With very fast efficacy achieved.
Eye shift. The American journalist Shannon Noel Bream was in the middle of her evening broadcast when something truly unbelievable happened. When she blinked, her eyes seemed to change completely. They turned from human to something terrifying. Look at this moment again. The color and shape seemed to warp. The clip spread across the internet within hours, and many were convinced that this brief moment revealed something much darker, because those didn't look like ordinary eyes at all. Creepy eyes. Is Jennifer Aniston a shapeshifter too? You'll be asking yourself the same question after seeing this video. While she was on stage during a show, her eyes didn't close the way they should have. Even after blinking, they stayed partly visible, like a thin, translucent layer had passed over them. It looked just like the third eyelid that some reptiles have. For a brief second, it seemed she had accidentally closed that third lid instead of her real one. Do you think that's what really happened, or could there be another possible explanation as well? Reporter transformation. Everyone on the internet is talking about this creepy video of a news reporter. In 2019, during his broadcast, his features suddenly shifted in a very creepy way. Look at his face carefully. His eyes looked like the thin membrane that covers the eyes of crocodiles. The creepiest part was that just a few days later, the recorded broadcast disappeared from everywhere on the internet, but someone had managed to capture the moment on their phone and shared it online. Do you think it was just a glitch, or was he hiding another identity that slipped on camera? Shape-shifting eyes.
I'm 4 years sober for a reason. I just now got out of rehab.
The following footage from Dr. Phil's show has gone viral. Take a look. While talking, Orlando Brown's eyelids suddenly grew heavy. It looked like he was struggling to keep his eyes open. But then the camera caught something even stranger. His irises turned yellowish green, and his pupils changed shape. You might think he was wearing contacts, but contacts do not look that uneven or warped. For years, people said Orlando had mental health issues, but what if it wasn't that at all? What if he was simply something different and was caught shape-shifting on camera?
I don't need that crap like other people. It's a slap in the face to people.
Reptilian tongue.
Here at Augusta High School that led to Chris Wood's death.
Take a look at this really shocking video. As this news reporter was delivering his report, suddenly he turned his head to the other side as if trying to hide something. You might not notice it at first, but in the slowed down version, you can clearly see what had really happened. While talking, a forked reptilian tongue seemed to slip out of his mouth. After that broadcast, no other clips of him ever appeared again, as if he was trying to keep a low profile after this incident. Reptilian on camera. Do you think some people aren't human but another species in disguise? This is Jana, a Russian woman famous for her skincare products, which are said to work wonders. At 50, she looks like she's in her 20s, but her youthful appearance may hide something darker. In interviews, her eyes have been caught on camera changing shape, looking eerily reptilian. Viewers were quick to call her a reptilian in disguise. Many now think she is a reptilian, which is the reason behind her success and her so-called secret formula. The theory has gained traction, making her one of the most talked about figures in this bizarre conspiracy. Eyes never lie. It's one thing to see shifting eyes once, but multiple times? That's unsettling. Nicki Minaj has caught attention with her eyes, which seem to change color, often in a way that doesn't seem normal. Fans initially assumed it was just her wearing contact lenses, but on several occasions, Nicki herself denied this, and her eyes would still change. What's even more disturbing is an old video of Nicki that surfaced, where eagle-eyed viewers noticed her hands had strangely pointed joints with fanged edges. Reptilian comedian. That was not a technical glitch, nor was it a camera effect. Caroline Kebekus is a German comedian, and during one of her shows, she was caught red-handed changing forms. Her true reptilian self was seen in her eyes. You can clearly see what her eyes did there, and when this video was uploaded on her official channel, viewers noticed this reptilian failing to contain her true form. However, suspiciously that video has this part removed from the video now after people noticed it. Some managed to save the moment before it was permanently removed. What do you have to say about this? Is she an actual reptilian? If not, then why was this part removed? Let me know in the comments. Time for today's creepiest reptilian caught on camera. That too, during a live broadcast. On the 30th of September, 2007, during a Fox News interview, Jenna Bush was talking about her newly released book, Anna's Story, when something completely bizarre happened.
No, I mean, it's been really great. I'm traveling to different high schools throughout the United States and talking with teenagers and students about Anna and the other kids I met in Latin America. And so far, it's been really inspiring.
Jenna started to shapeshift and began turning reptilian green. Multiple rows of teeth appeared, her eyes squinted strangely, and her skin took on a scaly, greenish texture. When you zoom in, you can see how bizarre her eye placing is on both sides. The reporters noticed it too, hence why they kept taking the focus on